Steve,
Yeah.
guess what? I have a question for you. Steve,
Okay.
what month is this?
January.
What month is this?
January.
And we got to talk about it. We'll be
All right.
right back. Be
Okay.
right back, everybody. Much everyone for being here. Say I have my very special guest, Steve Young from the Everywhere with Steve Young 74 channel. Steve, thank you so much for being here.
Sure. My pleasure.
And of course, answering the question, what month is this? Oh my gosh. Steve, what do people commonly seem to do during the month of January besides, the typical New Year's resolution or things of that nature? What's a trend that you kind of hear in the financial arena a lot?
One of the things I do here, mark me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. Well, one, I have to come back 1 month. I know it's last year. One thing people can have difficulty with in the month of January is trying to figure out how to pay for the money that's spent in December during the holidays. Um,
Yes.
so
Yes. What do you commonly, I know you listen to some of my videos on occasion, and I
mhm,
appreciate that, by the way. Thank you.
yeah, you're welcome.
What's something that you commonly have heard me say over the years, not just like a few weeks back, but over the years that I commonly say in December? It's like three words. Do you remember that offhand about January?
Let's see. January always comes.
That's it. January always comes, or January still comes.
Yeah.
That's still the same thing. And you want to, there's a reason why I say that, Steve. Why do you think I would say that in December?
One of the reasons why you would say that in December is you're also trying to prepare them, have a good strategy plan or have your ducks lined up when January does roll around so you'll know, in your budget how to address everything, how to, you know,
Right. 1000% with you. Wouldn't you say that in December, it is so easy to get caught up with the hype, the lights, the beautiful Christmas trees, the gifting? It is a very special period of time during the year. And people like to recapture it sometimes in July, but honestly, it's not really possible. There's just, it's like a magical feeling for like 4 weeks. And in my opinion, Steve, let me know how you feel about it. In my honest opinion or thought or whatever you want to call it, same
mhm.
thing in my mind's eye. I feel this way about it, that we get so caught up with that hype that we literally get so mesmerized. We're not thinking straight. Many people, we just, I don't know what it is. What do you think about that?
Um, that's no, you're right. You're right. Um, I mean, I do know this. Depending on who you are, I know that this is about January in general. I know that January can be sometimes it can be a hard month to deal with because, you know, you're having to deal with your December spending. Now, that could go anywhere from the sublime to the ridiculous.
Yes.
So you have to be careful. It also depends on a person's spending habits. Now, if you're a person that is conservative and you have a budget and you say, okay, again, I'm going back to 2024 December, or even a little bit before that. It all depends on when you put your Christmas shopping list together. Me, when I did it, I started way before that. But and you say, I'm getting such and such this right here because I listen for things that people might want. Oh, I'd like to have that. I wish I had one of these. I listen for that. So this person, this amount for this person, and so on, depending on how many people you got in your family that you're going to spend for. As long as you keep it within a certain amount and don't go over a budget when it comes to your holiday shopping, whether
Right.
you whether you start earlier in the year or if you start, you know, Black Friday, which I don't know who would want to get involved in that. I did it one time and I vowed never again and never did.
Oh, you're talking
But
about in person at the actual store, all
yes,
that
that's correct.
trampling. Yeah.
But now if you know what you're buying,
Hmm.
if you know what the item is, you know 150% when you go online, whatever merchant you go to.
Yes.
As long if you know what you're buying, brand and the item itself, yeah, then you get to stay in the comfort of your own place and it's delivered to you.
Right.
And you don't have to go get in your car, drive there, um, thumb through the rack if it's clothing or something to find something, and then have to stand in line. Then you have to pay for it and then walk back to your car. And all of that is those days. As long as you know what you're buying online, those days are over with.
So what you're saying in essence is that it takes a little bit of a forethought, a little bit of planning, doesn't take like a dreaded amount of planning.
No,
And you're 100% right because 10, 15 years ago, even just as short as 10 or 15 years ago, I remember the old days when we used to laugh at people setting a tent out in the street
oh yeah,
overnight, sleeping. Remember those? I mean, that's hilarious. So thankfully, we don't have to do that. But there's another thing, in my honest, Steve, that we don't have to do. Why do we have to wait to get the sticker shock bill in January? That's why every single year, and I don't mean to be repetitive, but yeah, I do mean to be repetitive because there will be new people listening every single year in
that's right.
December.
Yeah,
Another thing you brought up just now, Steve, which I thought was really good, like you said, it doesn't have to be like right then. What you're saying effectively is that we could shop any time of the year
yeah.
for the holiday. I
That's
could
what I
start
did.
shopping for Christmas next year for right now.
That's what I did. Um, I would shop throughout the year, and they run sales all the time.
Exactly.
So, I've been known to buy somebody a Christmas gift July, August.
Yes. Yes, me too.
Then all I do is just take the item and put it away.
Put it away.
And then when the time gets closer to Christmas, wrap it up, put a bow or ribbon, however you do it, and stick it under the tree if you do, if
I
you
think that's where some people, not yourself, not myself, and not a few friends of mine either. This is the area where some people have problems, Steve. That period of time from when you purchase the thing, that gift at a great price, that putting away period of time. Some people, they just can't deal with holding on to. I really think that some people have difficulty with that. When it is put away, I could put easily something away from last March in like my gifting hiding area, wherever that may be that particular year, Steve. I have no problem with that. And then comes December, I'm totally okay,
Mhm.
especially with gifts I know I'm going to hand to the person directly.
Right. Now, when I was a little bit more, a retail shopper, go to stores. This is when I was doing more at the store and a little less on the online to shop. I would always make sure that my Christmas shopping was done by my birthday. Now, my birthday, I know a lot of people know it, but I'll share it again, is on Halloween, October 31st. I made sure my Christmas shopping was finished because what happens usually November 1 and the holiday season really starts to come into play.
100%, no doubt.
So all I want to do, I've done it many times over. At times I still do it. No disrespect to others, only because I went one time. When I see people on television at Black Friday, I laugh at them because I think it's silly. Why go to the store? In fact, this happened last just this past holiday season of 24. Why go to the store and buy and fight over something at a discount when 9 times out of 10 you can go online and find it, the same exact item,
And free shipping, no less, where
free
you're not
shipping,
spending money on gas to get to the store.
free shipping, the price is the same. And if you don't find it on Black Friday online or over the weekend, they have something called Cyber Monday,
Right.
which is Black Friday items online, which to me, now that I'm 50, I'm older. This was back when I was in my 30s and 20s. I used to like to go out and shop. Well, I'm looking for simplicity now, not complexity.
Love
Sorry.
simplicity. That's great.
So I'm going to choose the easier route. If I know what I'm looking for, I go online, 3 or 4 clicks, your order is placed, and I wait 2, 3 days, whatever the duration is. It comes to my door. That's that.
And I hope my Father in heaven, and I'm not talking about Father God, I'm talking
Right.
about my earthly father that went to heaven. He was a postal worker. He was also a Nabisco worker. I have to say this, Daddy, I hope you're not listening. One of the things that I don't miss, and I'm sure I have a lot of viewers that will agree with me, gone for me are the long line days at the post office. Sorry, Dad. Waiting around to, send packages out.
Hmm.
Not when I have free shipping options on so many things. No way. No way. Click, click, drop ship, send it off. No way. I'm not going to even bother with that effort.
Yeah.
That was horrible year in and year out. Like we have to get a lot of packages out across the country, not to mention the cost. Some of the
Mhm.
costs, like I have a relative that lives quite many states away from New York. And could I tell you, the shipping is absolutely outrageous.
Oh, yeah.
Outrageous.
Doesn't surprise me.
Oh,
Well, this is why, you know, when I go online and shop, and I primarily stay with one company lately. They've been pretty good, and I can have the item sometimes the following day, sometimes the day after. Starts with an A, ends with an N. In fact, on my channel, if it's okay if I bring this up,
sure.
anybody wants to leave me a little contribution rather than super thanks, I do like Amazon gift. Yes, I said it. I do like Amazon gift
That's
cards.
fine. Steve likes Amazon gift cards. Let me make it clear. Steve has no problem. Here's the
No,
thing, Steve, all goofing aside, but you really, when you get them, I know you totally appreciate them. Here's the thing. It is the easiest, most secure way. If you want to gift Steve, click e-gift card. I'm talking
right.
about. You
Goes
don't
to
have
my
to send
email.
him a plastic card and no more mailing things to no.
No.
Click email. You will know when the recipient got the card in a matter of minutes. You'll know. Isn't it a nice feeling when you send something, you know the person got it?
Well, yes, it is, and I will revert back to something else. It might be slightly well, no, not really, because you just brought up shipping.
Yeah.
So, well, once upon a time, me in a different life, of course, and this is something that you and I share in common. Um, I used to ship stuff out to people who would buy stuff from me off of another online
That other
selling,
platform. Yep.
right?
Yep.
And I'm not the biggest fan of the US Post Office. I don't hate the post office.
Oh,
No,
Dad, you
because
didn't hear that. No, no.
no, I don't mean it in a bad way. I mean it this way, and it's not. It may be, I got to remember, I got to factor in weather, the time of year, things like that. When you send something out, when it leaves your hands, you don't know when it's going to get to the person you're trying to send it to.
No, and there are guideline dates, and you really should adhere to them, and they should be bumped up sooner rather than later. But go ahead.
For example, um, my sister, love her to death, she sent me, this was maybe Christmas of 22. Yeah, let me get the holiday. Okay. She wasn't, because they would frequent coming down here.
Yes.
She said, I wasn't sure if I was coming down to see you or not. So she kept asking me, did you get my card? Did you get my card? Did you get my card? Now, mind you, my sister at the time only lived 9 hours from me. I should have got that card in 3 to 4 business days at most. It took over 10 for me to get it. She said, if I would have known that, and I'm here, she says, I would have just handed it to you.
Oh my gosh.
But something that should have taken 3 to 4 business days
Cutting it
wound up
close.
taking over a week.
Right. Right.
And
Wow, that's amazing. That really is amazing.
this is why I've got the Super Thanks tab on my site is enabled again.
Right.
Amazon gift card. It saves you the time and trouble of getting an envelope, a stamp, writing it out.
I mean, honestly, and that is the truth. And obviously, absolutely, every little thing appreciated. Clicking like, sharing, super thanks. Like in my case, super thanks. Can't tell you how much we appreciate it. Because lately there's been some sort of shift with the rhythm. I got rhythm, but I'm not singing it. I'm just saying the 3 words. There's been a shift, okay, in my opinion. And also a little bit of a fact where I don't know why, but like it's like maybe our videos aren't get put out as fast as they could be or whatever.
Mhm.
It's just there's just been some change. So clicking on the like button is really, really important. Now I want to shift gears for a minute, Steve. Let's talk very briefly because I don't want to hold you up or the
You're not.
viewers.
You're
Let's
good.
thank you.
Mhm.
About, and if you are a viewer and you need to go, just press pause. You can always come back to the video. You know what, Steve? A lot of people forget that. They could press pause, go about whatever they need to do, come back when they want,
Mhm.
and resume the video. So it's a very convenient thing to do.
Yep.
No spend Januaries, which is a very popular thing. I'm not putting anyone down that does it. If you find that method works for your family or for yourself, I say kudos. Now, I'm just pointing this one at myself. Then I'm going to ask Steve about this in a second. In my case, I don't think no spend Januaries are logical, but I'll get into that later. Steve,
Yeah.
what is your thought about no spend January in general?
My
Like no
thought about,
spend month, for example, any month.
well, I do know this. It's definitely a mental thing. You got to, you know, y- if you don't put your mind to it, it's never going to happen. I have a system where I do spend, but I'm conservative about how much I spend and any money and I try to keep it within a certain amount a day. And if I don't go to that amount, anything below that carries over to the following.
I
And
love that method. I love that method. It works.
there's gonna be days in a week because you're not going to spend money each and every day in a week. You may only spend money 2, maybe 3 times a week. So the money of the other 4 or 5 days that you don't spend is all going to add over. It may be a dollar or two, but it's
Right.
going to add over.
So you're getting carryover, spillover. The good news there is it's not the struggle the other way around where like you're scratching, trying to figure out, oh my word, what am I going to do? This no, 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 no. I like your method.
Well, that right there That's not saying it wouldn't work on somebody who gets paid by the week, if for those that are lucky enough to get that, because it's a rare thing, or
Yeah, it's
bi-weekly.
rare. Too bad. Should come back.
Well, luckily, a good friend of mine gets paid by the week, so he's.
Right, right.
But normally, everything is paid bi-weekly these days. But primarily, where I focus on this is somebody who gets a one-time payment a month,
Right. Right.
or maybe two payments a month. Let's say you get Social Security, and say you get a pension from somewhere working somewhere for 20 years. Might be military. It could be military pay. Could be a government job, which is affiliate. But you know what I mean. As long as it's a pension,
Yes.
but it's a one-time payment, it can. But it can be more than one. And then you just work out a budget. I know this. It works for me.
I love that. And I know a while back you did a whole video about that in the past, which is
Yeah,
wonderful. And if I could find that, I would be happy to link that in my description
I'll send it
box
to you.
below. That would be absolutely awesome because Steve's method works. See, here's the thing in my thoughtfulness about this matter. I think to designate a whole month, why do we have to like stop living in January because the previous month was December? We could spread out whatever concerns we have for the holidays can be spread out all the time throughout the year. And you know what else, Steve? Every single year I discuss this about like forming our own Christmas club. We can make our own Christmas club. You remember what those are, right, Steve?
Hmm.
It was like a separate account, so on and so forth. But that's for another show. Steve, I would like to ask you. Well, I want to ask everyone to do the following. Steve, before we go, is there anything that you would like to add to this?
No, not right off. I mean, I pretty much, covered how I feel about January no spend.
So, do you have any one tip that you could leave the folks with? Besides the wonderful tip you just did, but is there any like one tip for in general throughout the year when it comes to budgeting monies? There's something that strikes you the most.
No, no, not really.
So
Nothing.
just taking it easy as we go along and just being careful case by
Yes.
case basis, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much.
I'm with you on that. I think taking money by case basis is a lot better than getting overwhelmed. Well, everyone, and Steve, I'd like to thank you so much for being here. Please don't forget to check out the Everywhere with Steve Young, 74 channel. It is random. He doesn't only talk about financial. A lot of times he does, and excuse the frog in my throat. Too much speaking, it's a side effect. Steve has a random channel. You're going to find a lot of fun stuff. You can hear about maybe music. Many times I'm on his show as well. And it's so nice of you to have me on your show. I love to be a guest on your show, as you know.
Mhm.
So thank you so much. All right, everybody. Thank you for your time. Don't forget to be good to your family and to yourself. But if you don't take care of yourself, you can't possibly take care of your family. So let me close it off with this little note here. Take good care of yourself and your lovely family. Bye-bye, Steve. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.